DOO Hoi Kem on the other side of the table in blue, only 18 years old, yet she's world ranked number 14, the 12th seed in this tournament, and owns a silver medal from the Youth Olympics in 2014. Michael, you've seen her play a lot through the junior circuit.
Exactly, and I like her. She has a lot of qualities in her game. Sometimes the only thing missing is occasionally, I think, variation in his forehand topspin and a little bit of tactical awareness, but she's maturing into a fine tour player and representative for Hong Kong. Let's see how she can do against the defensive style of Lee, who comes off also a quarter-final success in the women's double. So she's earned a medal actually in the women's double early this morning. So she should be brimming of confidence.
And speaking of confidence, our confident umpire, Anan Gwen from United States of America. She just had a confident look about her, you know. Now to get here today, by the way, Li Jie, she's had a 4-0 victory in the last 2 rounds. And in the last round, it was over Galia Dvorak, the talented Spanish player who has some funky pips on the backhand, change of pace game. And Galia has a great mental attitude, great strength out there. I think we're going to be seeing more of her in the future. DOO Hoi Kem beating 2 Korea DPR players, Rimi Gyeong, in a 7-game thriller just before this. Strong spin from DOO Hoi Kem to start us off. We talked about this being the real year for DOO Hoi Kem, beating Ai Fukuhara at the German Open, the big super series, the mini world championships as it's nicknamed. Very interesting side spin chops, almost like tomahawk chops from Li Jie on the forehand. She's shown consistency doing that. Wider and wider, DOO Hoi Kem staying close at the back edge of the table, moving Li Jie around. Patient play, spinning the ball, waiting for a good opportunity to rip through, but misreading the spin by just a little bit, and it's tied up at 2 points each. By the way, don't forget, you can be submitting your questions for Michael and I. Hashtag Ask the Commentator. Submit them on Twitter.
Good angled shot by DOO Hoi Kem. It's taking it easy. She's kind of feeling it, and you won't see that firework from her. She's quite a steady player. Normally thinks, acts, and safe firsthand. Judgment.
Definitely an interesting choice. That high ball up near the net looked like something to crush, but tough to reach, so she played it carefully and soft. Another hashtag I want you guys at home to think about is hashtag #DoTheJangjiKe for a chance to win a Jangjike signed blade. Take a picture of yourself getting creative, ducking down into the bullfrog position, as Jangjike has done several times in the men's doubles. Some of the most exciting matches of this tournament, barely escaping, facing match points against the Japanese young pair. Ball comes up a little bit high. We've seen Li Jie float a few long, still settling in. DOO Hoi Kem really has some excellent strength in her arms, some real racket speed, generates a lot of spin and power on her shots. Ripping forehand. Where'd that power come from? The last time Li Jie hit a ball with topspin, it was blocked right back, but this one there was no chance. Not even a big backswing on it, Michael.
Nice old-fashioned forehand smash right there, but effective.
Well, if that's the old-fashioned one, I'd hate to see the new one, my goodness. just unbelievable.
That was a new one. Right
That's
there.
the new one. That's the upgrade. She downloaded a forehand 2.0. Till the very last moment, the racket had just above the table, just drops and crushes through it. You can hear the crack sound going all the way through to the blade.
Stepped into that forehand topspin very well. She needs to use her body, you know, to support a little bit. Just not lift with the arm. Don't be a little bit more tougher maybe on the first points.
And Lee Jie pulling ahead by 2, the second towel break. We saw a few points in a row where the trend was to use the forehand attack. We hadn't seen that much aggression out of her. It was mostly defense, almost solid defense until that point. Just long, DOO Hoi Kem again working the angles, sending Lee Jie farther and farther into the backhand court.
She's made a few mistakes though here in the beginning, but you get a feeling that she can play against the style, because I see her reading and putting all the concentration on what's coming back, and that's a good sign.
Absolutely. In general, playing a defender, not only is patience and footwork important, but watching very carefully the spin, because the deception factor very high. Similar motions from the backhand create slightly less spin. And despite the early reading simplicity for DOO Hoi Kem, now it seems a little bit more complicated. Having a little trouble later in game 1.
Good serve. Changing it up a little bit. Important to create those good starting opening shots for DOO with good quality.
A strong serve there from Lee Jie, well placed just off the back of the table. We talked about how a lot of defensive players like to serve with their backhand. They're in a good position to cover up the table. Surprise the opponent with a step around attack on the forehand side. But now it's 3 game points for Lee Jie of Netherlands. Similar serve, a little faster and longer with topspin this time out wide to the forehand. And it's 11-7. Lee Jie takes game 1 over DOO Hoi Kem. Game 2 after this break. With the serve. It's interesting, DOO Hoi Kem with doubles teammate Lee Ho Ching both have a very calm demeanor. They seem confident, focused, relaxed out there on the court. But right now she's having trouble reading the spin, just like late in game 1.
See her react under pressure a few times when she kind of loses her fantasy a little bit in the game, if I can put it like that. And then the touch as well. So you see a little bit of that now, just hesitating, I think, very carefully and not making the perfect decisions. So it can be tougher than that sometimes.
Right, we were talking about it, Gavin and I were talking earlier about how some coaches insist that you actually don't play 80% very often, that you go hard, muscle memory, you'll know what to do. DOO Hoi Kem earns a point there with a more powerful forehand. She had tried careful a few points in a row. It was not a very happy ending for DOO Hoi Kem after a few soft shots and then one into the net. Just missing as it whizzes past the forehand corner of the table.
Let's say like this, in order to be very dangerous, you have to put at least 3, 4, 5 in a row. If that is what you decide to do, top spins on the table. Too many, you're stopping the ball, hesitating. Here she has to go 3, 4, 5 times and then work the ball. Good, well played. So we can see that she can do it. It's just more an execution now, feeling comfortable and so on, but still a young player, and at times I've seen her hesitate.
More and more power the last two shots of the rally. DOO Hoi Kem really delivering there. There's something about Lee Jie's chops that look like Thor bringing the hammer down to me. Like she just sort of raises up and it's like she's slamming something into the ground with the side spin forehand chop. That tomahawk motion. We saw how big the forehand can be for Lee Jie. She used it to win a few points in the middle of game one. This one just missing.
Clearly, they have identified that weakness, as you say. The forehand chop is not as strong. I mean, it's rises a little bit higher, or although it's relatively safe, it's not so difficult to read the spin.
Beautiful shot after a lob at the very baseline of the table. DOO Hoi Kem taking the first opportunity to get back in the point with an attack. Watch this shot. It's a mercy shot. Doesn't look like it's going to come down. Hits the white of the line and then right back in it. Heavy topspin, and Lee Jie having trouble judging the spin on her own. Kicking shot, beautiful point from DOO Hoi Kem. Left just too high, little break off the top of the net. Lee Jie able to take advantage of the shot she's earned. A little bit out of reach. It was tough for DOO Hoi Kem to get under that and still keep it soft and short. Slightly lighter spin. The shot before had as much underspin as we've seen on a chop. Wu Yang, one of the other female defenders here, with loaded underspin, then softens it up with a slightly more floating chop. And it's carefully lifted off the table. 1 point game now. Lee Jie down by 1. Well placed into the body. You can see the defender having to get her body out of the way and try to make that shot from the legs.
Playing quite a lot better now, DOO Hoi Kem. Really more aggressive and tougher, and with her forehand topspin, has to do the work. No.
It's interesting. I feel like we haven't seen DOO Hoi Kem going to the backhand quite as much. We've seen a lot of forehand chops from Lee Jie. And that's where patience sometimes can pay off. You block a big shot, you feel pressure to get right back in and finish the point sometimes. Still a good look at that ball, but a little bit more spin. Not necessarily a more careful shot, but not going for a flat-out winner might have paid off. Now it's tied up. Lee Jie right back in it. And after playing the short side of the table, leaving the touch shot up, Lee Jie sees it, comes running in just in case, and sure enough, she gets the forehand attack opportunity. There's, again, almost no backswing on that forehand, yet she generates so much power.
Well, to give it to her. She's playing quite well, actually. She's safe in her defense, and anytime she's stopping the ball, she has that threat. She's coming back with an attack. So.
Right idea from DOO Hoi Kem, overdoes it a bit. The placement just missing by about an inch off the back corner of the table. This is a turnaround. It's been a 4-point conversion here. DOO Hoi Kem was leading by 2, now trailing by 2 with 2 serves. Again, the spin is becoming a problem really. Late in the game, in game 1, we saw the same thing. There have been streaks for DOO Hoi Kem. Lee Jie, 31 years old, quite an experienced defender, now has 3 game points to go up 2-0.
Couple of unforced errors. I mean, she's making not the perfect decisions. Put value on the ball, and that's important for her now.
Well, deja vu. Again, 11-7 for Lee Jie, and a very similar finish. We'll see if game 3, DOO Hoi Kem comes back with a new plan. Stick around. To start off, a very aggressive forehand from Lee Jie and some laughter as she sort of reminds herself what the game plan is and how her forehand works best. And this time makes the adjustment to earn the point. We're seeing a bit more of the attacking Lee Jie.
But I was also impressed by Lee Jie in the doubles. She played very well. Just kept her safe, and you have to give it to her here. She's playing a good game so far, and trapped kind of duo came in tactically. Duo has done the same thing. You know, she's deciding to play against the forehand. Well, she's playing there all the time. As you said, you're missing that ball deep to the backhand also. You have to play with constant variation against the defender. Find your main tactics, stick with that. But then you always have to find the middle also, with the tough, powerful shots occasionally.
That's right, the balancing act, keeping the opponent guessing. Definitely an evolving game. The strategies and tactics of each player changing at will as soon as the opponent changes. Deceptively heavy chop, a little bit shorter on the table. We talked about how difficult it is to lift the ball when you hit it way out in front of you. Really have to get your body almost up against the table to make that shot easier. Get the body into it.
Yeah, you said it, Adam, the body into it, because we've seen a couple of times when she steps into the ball. That's not a problem. She can put, then that's a lot more dangerous shot than just trying to just lift it a little bit. So she needs to be physically involved in her top spins.
We were talking about it earlier, how difficult it is to lift anything when it's way out in front of you. If someone asks you to hold up a chair and it's way out in front of your body, it's much more difficult. If you hold it right next to your body, you can really get your legs, your back, everything into it, and it's the same in table tennis, looping a chop.
In my opinion, she sees the spin. I mean, she sees a little bit under, but the reaction is not properly. It's not execution is not done correctly. She needs to be a lot more active when taking those decisions and attacking the ball.
This time a little bit more topspin. The ball stays low, and Li Jie is the one who does not move her feet in. Has to contact the ball from out in front, gets a flat chop into the net. Barely clipping the edge. She was outside the table. It's going to be a question to see. They thought it caught the side of the top. What do you think, Michael?
Well, that is a...
Looks like side to me.
Looks like side to me also.
Still conversation about it? I agree with DOO Hoi Kem.
Well, there you are, your American friend. She's calling it.
It's a big country. I mean, we might be friends if we were to meet each other, but just because we live in the same country, I mean, doesn't mean we live in the same house. Both players, excellent sports out here, but it's always an uncomfortable situation when you disagree on something. Thinking about the size of America, I forgot what the score was. Did they give the point to Li Jie?
Yes, they did.
Interesting. DOO Hoi Kem down 0 games to 2. Definitely could have used that. I think would have been the fair call. But the timeout now. DOO Hoi Kem in the corner with the coach from Hong Kong. Sounded upset the way the water came down.
Maybe she needs that. She needs to get a little bit emotionally engaged, and that's another thing that sometimes I like with her. She is such a hard worker, but has that safe kind of mindset thinking and so on. Here you have to get engaged, and you have to really put pressure on the ball. It's really a chance for her to... I see her being relatively comfortable with reading the spin. I wouldn't say that she's fantastic, but she can do it.
You know, I like what you brought up about letting out your anger, sometimes showing emotion. It's so interesting. In general, you know, Waldner said, don't let your opponent see you angry. You know, play calm. But it's interesting. I mean, there have been clear examples where someone, when they're fired up, when they're shouting, they just play better. Whether it helps them focus or it motivates them or it feels like more of a fight. Everyone's different psychologically. And the side spin chop from the forehand side after many attempts. Not able to bring it back. DOO Hoi Kem having a bit of trouble.
She's doing a good thing also, Li Jie, when she slides it down the line a little bit. And that's a perfect placement because DOO has to move on that forehand topspin. And she's made a couple of mistakes exactly on that placement.
Right, it seems to be very uncomfortable for her to step around and take to the backhand corner. There we go, good patient play from DOO Hoi Kem. The timing seemed right. She spun it up, got a ball from down low that came up high. But again, it's loaded with spin and out in front. Very difficult to lift. This time she overlifts, playing the short side of the table.
Not a confident shot, in my opinion. She almost looks like she missed a few before as well, going down the line.
And this is trouble. A 4-point lead for Netherlands' Li Jie. Again, we're talking world rank number 27 in orange versus world rank number 14, who's losing right now, looking at possibly a 0-3 deficit. And it has been trouble over and over. The rally's getting shorter and shorter. She's trying to stay in it, play patiently. She's trying to go for the winner. She's really testing the waters in many different strategies, but it's 5 game points for Li Jie.
Clearly lost it mentally with that edge ball decision to go in favor for Li Jie. From that point on, it's been all trouble.
Big opportunity on the forehand in near the net. Li Jie getting just a little bit late to the ball. Some side spin on that backhand, a little bit more dead. She knows when she's hit the lighter underspin shot and follows it up for the popped up push shot just in case. Still 4 game points left. Well placed right down the line, a little bit riskier of a shot, but she didn't go for the kill. She still took a confident shot, stayed loose, just right on the line. Looked like she could have done about 5 more if she needed to. And now 3 game points left for Li Jie with their second serve. A little bit wild coming out the inside of the ball, and the timeout is called by Li Jie at the 3rd towel break. Makes a lot of sense. She's had a lot of opportunities. We saw a call like this earlier today. Players have a good opportunity to finish the match, or finish the game rather. And they've tried several times. Coach needs to stop it. Sometimes they need to just ice the kicker, break the momentum of the player that's on their comeback.
And what a good defender the coach Elena Timina was when she was playing. Russian, solid defense. Not very much attack at all, but what a fighter as a defensive player.
And the Netherlands women's team has actually been impressively visible in the last few years. Last year in Japan, we saw them, Britt Erlin, playing an impressive match. Very impressive in the 5th and deciding match, teams competition. Not as familiar with their men's players. I think the women's side a bit stronger, much like the United States. And now out of the timeout, we'll see how the receiver comes back to the table.
Good serve. DOO came outside underspin.
And after completely fooling Li Jie, getting a high ball at the baseline, she seems surprised herself and rushed. I don't even know if I'd say rushed the shot, just it was deeper on the table, catches the top edge of the blade, and it's a miss hit. What a journey in game 3, but DOO Hoi Kem down 0-3. We'll see what she can do in game 4 just after this. And we're back for game 4. DOO Hoi Kem starting us off with the serve. A gripping forehand goes into the net. It's getting closer and closer to 50-50, but still a winning shot for Li Jie. There's a floater, comes off the table long and quick with light underspin. Now typically if a player contacts it with their forehand, the inverted rubber, they're going to have a little more spin on it early in the rally than if they strike it with the long pips before the spin is really put on. Floater goes long. DOO Hoi Kem has the lead, still in the very early part of game 4.
But that was a good tempo change in that forehand though. Sometimes you don't have to use power, but you have to use some change in the tempo and pace of your top spins.
And thinking about the changes that DOO Hoi Kem can make, as far as location on the table, she's not had a lot of success looping to the backhand or attacking to the backhand. But then again, that's credit to Lee Jie for hitting the side spin forehand chops, sort of asking for the ball to come back to the forehand and really dictating where they go.
I agree. She's been completely tactically, very quietly controlling this, I would say. She wants the ball there. She keeps the ball on table, but as long as DOO is not taking the other direction, maybe using middle more and powerful, then she gets into trouble.
And right there, we've got that spinny forehand shot. This time, she's used it flat from over the table, was a little bit behind the table, but decided to go and loop it, and it kicked up. The block was not successful for DOO Hoi Kem. And the popped up ball does not go for the big attack, still plays patiently. One of the most common mistakes you see on a high chop like that is that a player does go for a big shot and hits it into the net because it looks a lot easier than it is, but is still loaded. DOO Hoi Kem went carefully and still had trouble with it. Break off the top of the net. Quick apology. You think she's still thinking about that side ball?
I don't know what she's thinking actually, because it's quite one-sided. You have to say for the defender also, where is your opponent starting the first placement? If it's different placements, it's always, you don't know where she's going to start to attack, but this time it's been now all the time almost against the forehand side, so you get comfortable in that and you control. As long as you as a defender, you know where the first ball is coming, then you're pretty safe on this level here that you're going to control from that point on.
Break off the top of the net again, his second apology in a short time for Lee Jie. And DOO Hoi Kem breaking, almost looks like an attempt at an around the net shot. Catches the clamp of the net. If that hits the base, the clamp that's on the table, and then comes over, it's still in play. The clamp is considered part of the net, even though it looks odd, still in play.
And also her technical execution when going down the line hasn't been perfect. The timing there is something there that's not correct, because she's making many mistakes when trying to go down the line with the forehand.
She tries going to the backhand side of the table, but plays it too wide. I think there was less side spin on that than the shots before. DOO Hoi Kem was sort of compensating, expecting the ball to carry back a little bit into the forehand side of the backhand court with side spin. And after an excellent block, the ball gets left up for the backhand, and DOO Hoi Kem cannot capitalize on this opportunity. Little break off the top of the net. Good look at the ball. Didn't seem like there was much rotation on it after that quick exchange. And right now, this is a one-way street. It is a boy band. It is not Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. It is One Direction. It is One Direction towards Netherlands' Lee Jie right now, up 9-4. And even after finding the very corner of the backhand court, the rally continues for many shots, and the touch game near the net has earned 6 match points for Lee Jie of Netherlands. Ripping forehand out wide, quick off the bounce.
And I've been missing that shot actually for quite some time, and that was a well executed, a little bit tougher forehand, but too little, too late.
We'll see. Too little, too late it is. 11-5 for Lee Jie in a 4 straight game sweep over DOO Hoi Kem, the number 14 world ranked player and the 12th seed in this tournament, the Youth Olympics silver medalist. 18-year-old DOO Hoi Kem has been knocked out of the women's singles here at the World Championships, and Lee Jie will go on in great form to the round of 16 in women's singles. 11-7, 11-7, 11-9, 11-5. Strong performance from the 31-year-old chopper from Netherlands. Stay tuned, we've got a little break, and after that, Malong and Gionis, the chopper from Greece. I'm excited to see that one with you guys. Stay tuned.
Maar je weet je, mijn kans